Hello and welcome to the cutest Flesh and Blood podcast in all of Wraith. How are you today, Kiki?
I'm doing
This is
so
Pitch Perfect.
well because my name is Kiki, and of course this is Elaine. We are the Pitch Perfect podcast. Welcome, listeners, and welcome to us. We've been away, slightly. I mean, I guess like content rotation wise, it's not obvious to y'all, but
Yeah.
for me it's been weird, like sitting at home the last week and a half and not doing anything. Well, actually, no, I did some editing, but you know, not recording last week. Feels almost like a foreign concept to me now.
It was weird to like not record last week, and also just to like have a week off was really weird because I feel like I haven't talked to you in months, which is not true at all.
Yeah.
It's like if I go like a whole day, honestly, without talking to you, especially like a whole 2 days, and I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel right.
I feel that. Yeah, the absence of you in my life was definitely noticeable. But I was like, you know, I'm not going to be that clingy friend. I'm just going to leave you be, do your thing, and if you come this way, so be it. If I find a pickle-related meme, I'll send it to you. I don't think I did this time, actually, now that I think about it, but that's all right.
No, we just talked about like Sabrina Carpenter, I think. Yeah.
As everyone should know about her. No one should not know who Sabrina Carpenter is.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, so it's just been like it's been 2 weeks since we sat down and recorded. I think we recorded 2 weeks ago today. You know, the content has still been rolling out, but we just haven't had a time to sit down and talk. And since then, things have happened. We've had some high seas, and we kind of are doing a mailbag of sorts episodes. We usually don't put out listener questions when it's just the two of us sitting down because we just kind of yap, and also, I guess, blindly assume no one has anything to ask us. So this time we put out a little listener questions for this post, or I guess a mailbag. So we just kind of said that. Talk to us about whatever you want to talk about. So yeah, we'll get into that. But first of all, how has your life been?
How's my life been?
Have you played any Flesh and Blood?
What's Flesh and Blood been like in the last fortnight? No, I don't think so. Did I? Wait, no, I played an Armory 2 weekends ago, I think. Yeah. No, I did, because I got a cold foil weapon from the Armory pack, sure.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was the Assassin one, which was like the only one that isn't really playable. Like the Assassin limited weapon, but that's fine. That's okay. Because I was there to just have a good time, have fun. I played Prison again, and nothing of note happened. There was probably some Arclight Sentinels, but like this is a story I could tell basically almost every week.
Yeah.
There's a skirmish tomorrow, but I unfortunately agreed to work the shift in which the skirmish was happening, so I'm not going to be playing any Living Legend this season, but that's okay, because it means I don't have to build a deck for Living Legend. So yeah, that's been my Flesh and Blood, or lack of Flesh and Blood week, really. It's mostly been video editing and stuff. I learned how to do different things, and our videos now have like an end card or whatever it's called, where you can put the things on it and so on and so forth, which is like, you know, I guess editing videos is Flesh and Blood adjacent enough.
Yeah, I need to get that to you because it's not on the video that came out before this one, the Tommy episode.
Oh, right.
Which is yeah.
I remembered that I needed to share it to you, and then I forgot.
It's okay.
Like, I think
it'll be on this one.
It'll be on this one, you know? For Tommy,
it'll be on this one.
At the end of Tommy's video, if you want to find something else to watch, just click the replay button and re-listen to us.
Yeah.
There we go.
It's a great episode.
It's a fantastic
Tommy
episode.
Is hilarious. That was so much fun to film. Yeah, so we've kind of just been on a break, and it shows not much going on in Flesh and Blood for you the past 2 weeks since we last talked. Me neither. I've been out of town. I did visit like Flesh and Blood friends while I was away, and I almost brought a deck with me, but then I didn't. I was like, I'm just on a break, you know. I watched a lot of TVs, I did a lot of nothing, and I built some Legos, and I got some just work done that's been on my to-do list for months that I haven't had time to do. So it was pretty nice. You know, like I said, I got to hang out with some awesome flesh and blood friends that I don't get to see outside of events, like outside of an event setting. So that's always fun. I did go to a few LGSs looking for the Aurora deck, and I can't find it anywhere. It's just sold out. So that's kind of annoying. And then I got back in town, and I haven't. It's like the first time I'm like alive again. I've kind of had some health issues that I've been dealing with, but we are recovering. And I'm not gonna get the chance of playing any skirmishes because I have some school commitments on the weekend, which is just how life is sometimes. But yeah, so it is what it is. But we have High Seas spoilers came out since the last time we've talked about, so we kind of got our first look at High Seas, which we'll dive into. Yeah.
Also, shout out to Liv, who posted a video recently, because we actually have a reason to do a shout out. She did one based on calling Christchurch, which was a little while ago now. But the video's out there, and her videos are always fun. So if you need something to do after this video, you can go and watch that. Yeah. I just completely mind blanked that the High Seas spoilers came out. And I feel like accidentally came out in the case of some of them, because the page that they came out on was immediately taken down, or somewhat immediately taken down, but, you know.
It's always disappointing when it's spoiled in that way, because first reaction when everyone's freaking out about the new High Seas stuff, I was like, this can't be real, because Necromancer is something that we as a community have been shouting out since I started playing this game 3 years ago. And what do you mean it just got dropped like on a random Tuesday while I'm sitting on my couch or whatever day it was, you know?
No build up.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
Right, no build up. Like, it's really disappointing. I hate when that stuff happens. Like, it kind of just takes the hype out of a lot of it. So but still, we got them, and so we can be excited about it. But I hate the way it happened, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, no, 100%. Agree. Like, people at LSS do, put a lot of work into trying to make spoiler season build up and kind of almost tell a story and, like, get people excited. They know how to, like, push it to leak just enough so you get excited, but not so much that you get exhausted with everything. So it's unfortunate that this spoiler season kind of has had the wind taken out of its sails.
Nice one.
But yeah, nonetheless, the cards are pretty exciting and kind of are not quite the full picture, but are giving us more of an idea of what we're gonna maybe expect from the set.
Yes. I still, I have thoughts and feelings that it will probably change, because I think my thoughts and feelings on this set it's like been a really set of highs and lows for me. Like
the tide.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like with the tides. I just feel like one day I am like the most excited I've ever been about any set, and then the next day I'm like, I'm gonna hate this set, and then I'm like, this set is so cool. So it's making me very anxious to just like play it, because I honestly have no doubt that I'm really gonna enjoy it anyway, because I just trust LSS and I've yet to dislike a set that they put out. But it's just like, so I don't know, it's really different. It's looking different.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow.
But, maybe if they just install a ball pit at your LGS, it'll be okay. A ball pit with a plank.
Right, just make me walk the plank. I'll be fine. I'll get over it. I'll immediately forget all of my concerns, worries, stress. Yeah.
So, call to action: if you're going to any sort of like local events that Elaine's attending, please dress up as a pirate or something of the like, just to really help with her immersion and her enjoyment of the set. That would be appreciated.
See,
thank you.
Now I'm excited again, because people are gonna be like being really silly. Like, I can dress up. People are probably gonna be like, arg, like.
That's exactly what's gonna happen.
I'm excited again. I just need a little bit of silliness, and I'm back on board.
Famously, like, what was it, a month ago, and you're like, I think this set's gonna be too silly. I don't know if I'm gonna enjoy it, and then here we are. That brief moment that
did
you
say
forgot
that.
who you were.
Yeah, that my first concern when Pirates was announced was like, I think that's like silly. I think they're gonna be like cheesy pirates. People are gonna be making too many puns. And then I was like, I am people. That is literally me.
Unfortunately, we didn't get my sea witch, my Ursula, which makes me... Or my pirate monkey, now that I think about it. I forgot about my cutlass-wielding pirate monkey.
I didn't even get a siren that does like a siren's call.
Our, like, predictions were so off base.
Yeah, and sillier.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Gravy Bones is kind of silly.
I'm all aboard the gravy boat. Like,
Are you on the gravy boat?
I don't think I'm gonna play him, to be honest, because like I'm gonna look at these heroes and be like, these are so cool, Prism. Let's like be realistic.
Okay, but like in the limited format.
In the limited format, he seems very cool. I'm very curious about the new mechanologist. All I can say is I love her aesthetic.
Yeah.
And she has a cool parrot. I'm not the I
yeah.
don't subscribe to the parrot as the character. And not in the same way that Victor is the horse. Not a subscription for that. I'm not here to. I want to play a cool person of color, so. But I'm not convinced that the hero is going to be what I expect from older mechanologists. I don't know if she's gonna boost. Is my hot take. Or as much.
I'm not sure either. She might be more like a what Max? I don't know.
Some sort of like
We do know what the rest of her text is. The second time you crank each turn, blank a card. Is it draw?
Maybe. That could make sense. I know she galvanizes as well, like, because they spoiled one of her attacks, one of her bigger attacks. It's a Majestic at the very least. And that has a galvanize ability. So I imagine that has something to do with it.
Completely off topic. Not really, it's on the topic of high seas, but I'm just looking at these heroes, and like, I was looking at the cards too before we jumped on to record, and I really love the borders of like the pirate borders. Gravy Bones I am most curious about, and then Puffin Hightail. But honestly, my curiosity keeps switching between Gravy Bones and Puffin because I just really don't want to touch the Ranger. Love the heroes, beautiful, but Ranger and me, if you've listened to probably any podcast I've been on at this point, including this one, you would know that Ranger and I are not friends. So no, it just does not interest me at all.
So if we do actually end up doing a high seas episode, or not episode, a high seas battle with two heroes, we'll avoid the Ranger one, just to not upset you.
I'll play Gravy.
Okay.
I'll be on the Gravy boat. Or you can be. I just, if you want your mech.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. Honestly, like, my biggest thing about Gravy is the fact that I can refer to his ship as the Gravy boat. And, like, that just brings me no end of joy whatsoever. I love a good pun.
I kind of like...
And also that...
I like that he's a looter, too.
Yeah.
Shipwrecked looter.
Oh, that's just, like, a very on-the-nose Magic the Gathering reference. Like, I don't know how many people are aware, but, like... Merfolk Looter is a card that drew a card and discarded a card. And that effect's been known as looting ever since in Magic the Gathering.
Oh, okay. I did not know. Learn something new every time I talk to you. I don't like the fact that, like, he's definitely going to play blue cards.
Yeah, like 100%.
Yeah, like, he has to. Kind of in his hero decks.
Yeah. Blue is watery, as they did with Mysteria, so it kind of also makes flavor sense there.
Yeah, it's just blues.
You don't like blue? I guess you've never been a Guardian player, huh?
No, well, Star Vote, but that doesn't count. I don't think anyone thinks that counts.
No.
Yeah, okay. There's a few things I think I'm really interested there's a few things out of what we've seen from this set that really has captured my attention. But I don't know. Maybe we can talk. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about it because I don't think that the questions get. Well, one thing I will say that I'm really interested in is the compass of the sunken depths. Gravy boats, offhand equipment, I think is I kind of am really interested in it. It's the instant, what I'm assuming is a tap icon.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the top card of your deck, the first card with watery grave you play from your graveyard each turn gets go again. So I'm kind of really interested in this. I like that, like, there's no like destroy after you do this. This is just kind of something that seems like it'll be around for the entire game. Like, just tap, look at the top card of your deck. I kind of am here for that. I also am liking, which we expect because of Necromancer, like the graveyard interaction that has too with the go again. So I'm just kind of really curious about. I like what I'm seeing from his playstyle so far, just from that one card, I'll say.
It does seem kind of scary because, again, it's like a starts and play, stays and play, go again kind of card, right? Which is the key indicator of whether a hero is going to be, or not necessarily the key indicator, but a key indicator of whether a hero is going to be, like, broken or not.
Yeah.
Like, again, Illuminaris, broke. Dromai, broke. Old Aurora, not Aurora, Briar, broken. Like, all these things that just chain, broken. If we give things regular go again for no effort, in this case literally no effort, other than the fact you have to play a one-handed weapon, which is probably fine, and I imagine part of the design space of the hero.
It's Rosetta Thorn. No. It's like one-handed Rosetta.
Yeah.
I'm interested. It's.
If they ever do that, please don't. I'm just gonna message y'all, please don't.
If they ever do that, please don't.
Yeah, exactly.
Full stop. Please
don't even go there. But yeah, this is really cool. This is my first time actually seeing it. I didn't know this existed.
Oh, really?
Also, like, the fact that all these things have this equivalent of tabbing potentially, like this sort of, like, a lot of people do this in Flesh and Blood already, where they'll turn their card sideways to signify that they used it, like an ally attacking or whatever, right? And usually to signify these once per turn sort of effects. But the cool thing about it being an actual activation turn it sideways, rather than just saying once per turn, is that this technically isn't once per turn, which means that there's, like, an opportunity to maybe, like, untap, recover, whatever they want to call it, and use these effects multiple times in the same turn potentially.
Right, because the Sky Skimmer does say once per turn, like, tap.
Right, okay, there you go.
Like, it says once per turn with attack, which I never really took note of before you just pointed it out. But as soon as you pointed it out, I was like, there is one that says once per turn tap.
There we go.
So that's really interesting. The tap, when I first saw it, I will admit I was a little turned off by that, just because it felt like Magic, and I'm not a Magic player. But I will say that, like, I think what you just said is pretty interesting. I'm kind of curious to see how it actually plays, because I mean, my problem with Magic the Gathering is not the tap. Just gotta, get over it, move fast.
Yeah. It's something that occurs in, like, multiple card games as well. It's a very clear indicator if something has been used. Visually, it's very effective mechanic. It's just unfortunate that, most, if not all, card games will have to be like, oh, but Magic does this kind of thing going on. It's like, we get it, you're the first card game. It's cool. Whatever, that's fine.
Right, yeah. All right. Should we dive into some questions? Because I'm looking at the questions, and Scott, Howlingmines, did ask kind of something else I'm curious about after looking at the high seas. Okay. So Scott says, hey, you lovely duo. Thank you. Hi. With the return of dual class heroes in high seas, I'm wondering which two existing classes would you like to see smushed together? More importantly, what would they do? Much love. Much love to you, Scott. So I know we're gonna talk about existing classes, but I just wanted to touch on one thing here. Do we know if Pirate is a class, if these are dual classes, or if it's something like Royal?
Yeah, it got accidentally spoiled somewhere. They are dual classes.
Okay.
It's either accidentally spoiled or intentionally spoiled.
Classes.
Actually, I think it might be intentional at this point. I think it was on the Flesh and Blood website. I could be wrong, but it's
Okay.
definitely in writing on the internet somewhere from somewhere that
pirate
is a class.
is a class.
So it
okay.
does leave
Okay.
also room for pirate to be a separate thing later on, like just a pirate. But there could always be a pirate warrior that happens to be a little bit furry and like 3 foot tall. Just saying.
Give me Pirate Kasai. Kasai would be so cool as a pirate. I don't know if that's my answer. I actually haven't thought about this, what my answer is to this question.
She would kind of fit the vibe. Like, kind of. Maybe I'm just saying that because, like, you could almost make her look very, like, Keira Knightley-ish kind of thing.
Yeah, you could, literally throw her on a pirate ship. She would be so hot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's besides
That's
the
what
point.
I want to say.
That's what I want to see. Just really Keira Knightley hot pirates. Anyway, we've lost the plot. The question was...
Dual class heroes.
Yeah, dual class heroes. Which 2 existing classes would you like to see smushed together? More importantly, what would they do?
Do you want me to go first? Or do you need time to think?
Yeah, because I need time to think. If you have an answer...
So, I've been thinking about this for a while. Not this because of this question, but just in general. Unfortunately, like, it wasn't necessarily a dual class, but I always wanted to see a shadow mechanologist. Where the hero ability would be something along the lines of, if you boost a shadow card, you can go again. So that way you can kind of boost through shadow cards as well. And I feel like the synergy between boosting and then playing your blood deck cards would be, like, so sick. And then, like, flavorfully, it would be like a mechanologist that, like, makes holograms as, like, their attacks of, like, the dead and spooky kind of thing. Think, like, how they did, like, the hologram Tupac concert or the hologram, like, Hatsune Miku concert, except, like, more evil, and, like, that's the vibe that I was kind of thinking of. But obviously that's not dual class. That's a talented mechanologist. In terms of actual...
Yeah. Go ahead.
In terms of actual dual class, I need to, like, think about that one, so by all means.
Well, I was just going to say that I feel like anytime this type of new hero question is asked, I always say Shadow Warrior. So Ella says, please give us our Shadow staples, please. But I don't know how it would work. I'm really bad at figuring out how things would work. I am not a game designer for a reason. I'm kind of interested in a pirate warrior since I got that idea of Pirate Kasai in my head. But let me see if I can think of something else. I don't know what else, like what other class would fit well with warrior, because obviously warrior is one of the classes I want to mush with another class.
I was just thinking, like, the piratiness of pirates. And, like, the heavy hitter situation going on with the warrior, like, means that it's a very good, like, currency kind of combination, right? Like, and Kasai as well, who also is very currency focused to an extent. Like, you're going to be making your copper, silver, and gold. Like, it kind of works.
Now I'm, like, getting my hopes up that they're gonna give me a Pirate Kasai, because it does work so well aesthetically. It works. I think Kasai is, like, kind of like, I think she has a bit of a pirate spirit to her, like she's a warrior, but she kind of is, like, down and dirty for a warrior. She's, like, got a sense of vengeance to her. She's not, like, she's very, like, different in character from Dorinthia, who's, like, and Bolton, who are, like, these kind of soul warriors, where Kasai's not like that. She's got the blood on her hands, she's kind of out for vengeance.
She's like a mercenary or something, right? Like, the whole point is that
she
kills for money. So, like,
she kills for money.
Someone could easily be like, hey, I need a badass warrior to be on my boat and help me kill some people so I can find some gold. You want 20% of that? Like, come on board.
Yeah. I think that maybe, like, an assassin warrior could work as well, for the same reason. But yeah. I don't know how it will work. I know that's the question says more importantly, what would they do?
Like, mechanically, this wouldn't make sense. So what about like a brute ninja? Just something just like completely off base. Like, I want to see a ninja be like hella clumsy and kind of forceful, which is very much not what ninjas do, and be so different, right?
Like a like I feel like it's like a KO, but like a combo KO that's a little maybe dumber and just clumsier.
Yeah,
I like that.
Like, I haven't thought about what this character would do, but I think it would just be like, it would be a much more comedic character. Because like we see these like ninjas as these sort of like, I don't want to say dainty or twinkish, but I mean like they're all like kind of these slim, agile kind of character things, but to have like a brute who's going to be like bigger and like very punchy, which is not what a ninja should be. I guess like Zen isn't a twink, is he? I don't know. Question for later on. Let us know in the comments. Is Zen a twink?
We'd have to refer back to our tier list video. I don't remember where Zen fell on the ranking. It's like a Kung Fu Panda kind of situation, but like with like a Shrek. Yeah. Like, is that what? Because that's what I'm envisioning.
Basically. Well, I don't even think the brutes necessarily have to be orcs. Like, in general.
Yeah. No.
But yeah, that kind of idea.
Yeah,
like exactly. But that's like a great example. Like, Poe is his name. Pretty sure. Yeah, Poe from Kung Fu Panda. Yeah, like that. That's what I feel like would be so funny and so out of pocket in Flesh and Blood, just because everyone's so serious and deathy in terms of the mainline characters. You know, it'd be funny. It'd be funny.
Quirky. Let's get sillier.
Exactly.
Bring the silly.
Yeah. Or like conversely, you could just have like people's like two most hated classes to play against. You could have a Rune Blade Illusionist. Just really make people mad. Put like the two biggest, most obnoxious card pools, or two of anyway, and combine them and have like arcane damage and allies more so than Illusionist already has, and people would hate that. So actually don't do that, LSS. Don't do that.
I feel like I don't know enough about how like the pirate as a class like works to kind of say how a pirate warrior would work.
Yeah.
But if you did something like if you made Kasai an assassin, then I think Kasai could have like contracts to fulfill, which I think would just be way too good actually if Kasai got gold from fulfilling contracts.
Makes a lot of full sense though. Because again, like,
it does.
She's not an assassin, but a mercenary is kind of close.
Kind of close.
Yeah, just a little bit more upfront. Like, you don't need to be hidden when you're a mercenary. You can just...
I'm just using this question to make a better Kasai.
So you're making Kasai and I'm making
more meta viable
Kasai.
Cool. Yeah. Okay, that's where our heads are at. Yeah, it's just... It's what it is. It's okay.
Really, I want a Shadow Mechanologist that boosts off shadow cards to play your blood deck cards, and I think that would be sick. I'm proud of that idea coming together.
I'm proud of you too. Yeah. I've been asking for a Shadow Warrior for probably 2 years now, and have yet to figure out how I think it would work. I just think it would be really badass looking, and I'd like to cosplay it.
Okay. One-handed weapons.
Okay.
And either the weapons or the hero abilities, when this hits, you banish the top card of your deck.
Okay.
So you can then go weapons into like blood deck cards.
I think it should be maybe you get 2 different weapons and like one of them says that, and or put it on. You're better at this than me.
And if you could also have a reaction that's like, say, a 0 cost, give +X for X the number of blood debt you have in your banish. Or something along those lines. That might be too broken, I don't know, depending how aggressive you can get cards on your like blood debt. But you know, that way you're like making the most of like the reaction side of warriors. You're wanting the weapons to hit to give you card advantage, and then you're doing the blood debt thing.
Wow. Why aren't we game designers? I mean, not me, you. I haven't done anything.
No. If I'm going there, you're coming with me, which is the only reason why I'm not a game designer. Yeah. Not
to be here just to like bounce off of. Yeah.
Look, we're the
Perfect.
ideas people.
I like
Yeah,
this.
there we go.
With it. What can we say? We're just ideas people.
Yeah.
All right. Next question comes from Tommy Fresh and Bud's Tommy Fresh. When we inevitably go to the Savage Lands for a set, how do you think LSS should handle portraying the brutes as more than just savage and bloodthirsty in lore, aesthetics, and design?
Should they be portrayed as more than just savage and bloodthirsty? Like,
I think everyone should be portrayed as more than just savage and bloodthirsty.
I guess, yeah, you can make them more like, you make them a ninja and a panda. There we go.
Yeah.
No, like, I think it's kind of the brute lore, I guess, in general. At least what I expect of it is that they are savage and bloodthirsty and kind of... Like, that's what kind of... If you think about the brutes that exist being, like, Kao and Reinar being from this pack of orcs, I guess, or this community of orcs. I'm not too sure about the lore, but they are connected. And Levia being a human-turned demonic abomination. What ties them together is the fact that they are savage and bloodthirsty, right? That's like the common factor there. Because mechanically,
But
they only care about the number 6. They all care about the number 6 in different ways. But flavorfully, it's the fact that they all yearn for blood, I guess, is what makes them brutes.
can't you give them more, like, for example, not to bring everything back to Kasai, but Kasai is like a bit savage and bloodthirsty in her own ways, but she has kind of like a vengeance to her that makes her like that, you know, like she has this tragic backstory that gives her a little bit more depth than just like, oh, she's an orc or a demonic thing, you know?
I guess, like, that's a character thing as opposed to a class thing, though, right? Like, her class is warrior. Her backstory makes her also kind of, like, not necessarily demand death in the same way the brutes kind of do it. Like, but even then, I guess, like, so, like, her motivations, I guess, are driven by vengeance and money, right? Whereas, like, a Kao and a Reinar, and to a lesser extent, Levia, their motivations as characters is, like, I need to prove that I'm the strongest by literally beating everyone else to a pulp. And Levia's case, her motivations is I don't want this demon to kill me, but I want supreme power for vengeance. I don't know. I guess, like, there would obviously be other character motivations for individual characters, but I don't know if that's, like, the tying thing that makes them brutes.
For the brute. Okay, so we should just lean into the savage and bloodthirsty. I think we need a mama brute, not a mommy brute, because like we have Levia, but a mama brute, like a big mama brute. You know what I mean? That's just kind of like, you know, don't fuck with me, don't fuck with my pack. Like, I'll fuck you up.
What if Betsy was a brute guardian?
That's what I like. That's why I was like a brute Betsy, like Betsy, but a brute.
What if she just became a brute? What if she was the dual class hero we were looking for?
Something happens and that just turns her very savage and bloodthirsty.
Yeah. I mean, she's already out there killing bears for, like, their coats, right?
No, yeah, that's the vibe I want. Like, Betsy is so cool. Like, just like with wearing animal skin, posted up, drinking, gambling. Like, I love that vibe. And I just went like, yeah, brute, lean into it a little more. Make her savage and bloodthirsty more. But like in a mama bear type of way.
In terms of brute aesthetics, I don't think they should all be orcs. And, like, Levy is a good step away from that. But I want more brutes that aren't orcs. And I want orcs that are classes other than brute as well. And other, you know.
Yeah.
We're very aware this is my pirate monkey. I want more diversity.
Sorry, I just had a...
I thought you were just so excited about the pirate monkey. Like, yes, pirate monkey.
Yeah, I'm very excited about that pirate monkey, but I was just... You were talking and inspiring me, and I got inspired. Anyway.
Okay, what was the inspiration though? What's the result of this?
We were just talking about like, oh, we need brutes that aren't just orcs and like, and then I was just trying to think like different aesthetics that are like total opposite of brute, but you could fit into brute. And I was like, what if we got like a little tiny like fairy, like a little tiny like flea of a girl who is just like the most savage, bloodthirsty, badass little thing ever. But it was just like a little fairy, but she was a brute and she could like really fight and was just really like bloodthirsty, kind of emo. I'm really into that.
If we get like Hayley Williams but more feisty, or like Sabrina Carpenter with like from that music video, which I can't remember which one it was, the one where she's like with Jenna Ortega.
Yeah, the Taste music
There we
video.
go.
But yeah, I was thinking like Hayley Williams. Yeah, it's like Hayley Williams as a little like flea fairy brute.
There you go. Can we just get more emos in the game?
More. Yeah, that's my request. Every character I actually designed is just kind of emo.
Yeah.
Few more emos here and there, sprinkle them.
2007 me, living for this right now.
Yeah, I need at least like one emo for each class. What would an emo like? Yeah, no, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I think like a little tiny, yeah, like a brute. Like because brutes are so savage and bloodthirsty, just make it like as small as possible, like a little flea. Like I don't know why I keep saying flea. Like a little fairy that's just a feisty little thing. That's what I want.
I guess they don't even necessarily have to be from the Savage Lands, right? Like if we're talking about brutes, or like, because like Levia's from the Monastery kind of thing. But to like have one in the pits, for example, they could be like a kind of mob kind of situation, like like the heavy fur mob, if you know what I mean, right? Like they could be brutish as well, while being completely different from your Levias and your Chaos Rhinos. Completely different vibe.
If you put the little tiny angry fairy and made it from like Tales of Aria, which is like such a happy place, and you just had like this emo brute fairy that was just angry at society and became a brute.
This whole time you're talking about this, I just keep on picturing the image you showed us of you, your pixie cut wig. Is this what you're just calling back to? Is this what's happening right?
Yeah, but like hotter. Like way less embarrassing looking than that.
Yeah. So, there we go, Tommy. I hope that answered your question.
I don't know that it just.
But
yeah, hopefully.
yeah, there's definitely ways you can do it that make them. I still prescribe to the fact that brutes are savage and bloodthirsty, and maybe I'm not creative enough to think of anything else that they could be. But there's definitely ways you could play with that to make them more individualistic while still being savage and bloodthirsty. Is what I think.
What if we got like one of those like cute little like make a meep a brute? It's just like a killer rabid meep.
Oh my god, like a Furby kind of situation, but like, or no, there's that movie kind of thing. But yeah, a meep that's just gone rogue, a rogue meep.
Yeah, I just saw like my little My Melody sitting here, and I was like, what if we got like a cute little creature that is just rabid and gone rogue, and it's just a brute, like.
I could totally see that, and like,
I think
you can have a storyline.
If it was a rabbit, you could like infect, like it could bite you and infect you. This rabbit.
I imagine the lore story's already like the lore story just begins, and you're talking about some traveler who's going to be, for the purpose of this, like unnamed or like generally not like an important character, who walks by, comes across this bunny rabbit, thinks nothing of it, and then bam, they die. You could even have like what if it was like a werewolf kind of situation where the hero like flips over and becomes like more powerful?
Ooh, yeah, like a werewolf. Yeah, it could be.
Tiny little bunny rabbit, massive fucking huge thing.
Huge.
And it could like be based on like some sort of either turn cycles or some sort of trigger that makes them more of a unit.
What if when you were a tiny little bunny rabbit, like something with your hero ability was just kind of like somehow like trapping your opponent, like kind of luring you in to, oh, I'm just a cute little bunny rabbit, and it's just like your opponent's slowly getting lured in, and then when you flip, whether if it's like turn cycle based or whatever, then you just become like crazy rabbit. And yeah, I don't know how you'd actually do that in the card game to build a deck that would work with that. But anyway,
So,
I'm really having fun thinking about things that aren't like orcs that could be brutes.
so your suggestion for high seas was a siren that lured people in and then killed them, and your suggestion for this potential Savage Lands things is a bunny rabbit that lures people in and then kills them.
And an emo fairy.
And an emo fairy. Okay. Whew. I was worried for a moment that, like, when you asked me to be part of this podcast, that you might have been luring me in for something, but, like, you know.
No.
Just, again, slightly on the same track. Like, is there...
there is a theme. I'll give you that, yeah.
Is there a Dr. Jekyll and Miss... whatever. Like, a Jekyll and Hyde kind of character? Because that's also kind of brutish. And I don't think that exists in Flesh and Blood, but, like, that idea, similar to werewolves, again, is brute-ish without being an orc.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the, like, hard thing with, like, the flip type of thing is, like, how... is, like, trying to build a deck that would work for, like, both sides of the character that we're envisioning. But, I mean, they've, like... Leviah Redeemed and like Teklo, they kind of transform themselves as heroes. So there's ways you could do it.
Sure,
I'm sure.
and Marionette as well. Like Marionette even has the
well,
cyclical kind of situation going on where it's like it comes in for a period of time, then leaves most likely, or I think almost definitely.
Yeah.
But
Almost so.
yeah, I don't think there's any ways to keep any of them around for longer.
I don't know if we did a good job portraying brutes as something. Well, it does say portraying brutes as more than just savage
True,
and bloodthirsty.
yeah.
So I think maybe we accomplished
Yeah, we have built onto Savage and Bloodthirsty with more, and given individual characters.
And yeah, Mama Brute, Fairy Brute,
Rabbit Brute.
Rabid Brute, the Pitts Brute that we kind of talked about. We didn't really go in detail about a Pitts
Just a
Brute,
henchman.
but
Just think like, what's his name? Riptide, but Brute.
right,
That kind of situation.
right.
I want to see him like in a suit though, like kind of like sharply dressed, and then like kind of arms ripped out of the sleeves and just like huge and hunky, but like in a kind of.
See, I was imagining. Yeah,
I was gonna say just like I imagine like a pinstripe suit with his arms bulging out of his shirt, and just like pinning people over because they like messed with the mafia boss one too many times. Brute.
I like that.
The muscle.
Is total opposite from what I was imagining. I was imagining like a little scrawny little guy who's just kind of who is like the henchman, but kind of like sick of being the henchman because he's just been pushed around so much that now he's just kind of going crazy. But he is just kind of like this sad guy. Yeah, not muscly, just kind of like no one, pushed aside too much for being the henchman. So now he's like, I'm just gonna go savage and bloodthirsty.
Yeah, I mean, again, you bring up interesting points where brutes don't necessarily have to be huge. Like, it's just a mindset. It's a way of life. They're brutish in actions, not necessarily in body muscle. As opposed to any other kind of muscle.
I think we've hit on lore, aesthetic, and design in all of these.
Yeah, Tommy, we did your question a service. We answered it amazingly.
I thought we might have to like trademark some of these ideas. They were so good.
Along with Pirate Monkey.
Yeah. Along with the Pirate Monkey. Yeah. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Another question perfectly answered. I mean,
well done, us. And moving on to the next one. This comes from Morgan at Soffsee.bsky.social. Two-parter. Early favorite... I was going to say Southeast Asian. I did it again. Early favorite high seas hero based on what's been revealed?
We kind of talked about this a little bit. I think I'm still on the gravy boat. But again, anything but the ranger. But I'm really curious about Necromancer. I'm really curious to see how it plays. And I just also like the silliness of this man being named Gravy Boat. I mean, Gravy Bones.
Gravy Bones. You can call him Gravy Boat if you like.
Gravy
and
Boat.
if he does really well, then you're on the board the gravy train, you know? Like, choo-choo, exactly.
Choo-choo.
I don't know how I feel about any of the heroes in terms of what I'd actually want to play. I feel like Necromancer is probably the closest because it most resembles Illusionist.
The Puffin. I think Puffin, it looks like... I'm most curious about Gravy Bones. Obviously, Necromancer's new, but I do think that Puffin might be the hero that I like playing the best.
I don't know much about what she's gonna do. The way I've seen Mechanologist so far, with the previous 1, 2, 3, 4 heroes that they have, is that they're either really good or really not. Like, it's very hard to strike a balance because the deck is so reliant on items and banishing at random, quote unquote. I think it's a really difficult class to kind of hit a correct sweet spot of power and not being broken. So I'm unsure about whether she's going to actually be powerful enough or not. I think the range is the safest bet in terms of being the strongest. But, you know, that's not actually the question.
I won't play it even if it is.
Oh, no,
I'd just lose instead.
No, that's fair. Like, I'm not gonna say
yeah.
she's going to be the best, or even that you should play her, because I don't think that you would ever enjoy yourself ever doing that. But I do think she's the safest bet in terms of, like, power level. We already know that New Horizons exists, and her hero ability allows her to play multiple hero weapons as well. Her hero ability allows her to play multiple attacks as well by arsenaling multiple times, so you just need go again attacks. So I think she's probably going to be the most easy to solve of the new heroes. But that's not the question. I realized the question was early favorite.
What?
And, you know, I like Puffin. I like characters of color. I think she's cool. The parrot is whimsical. Like, it's very bright and fun, which is kind of what I want from High Seas. Gravy Bones is really cool. But, like, dark and drab is not my aesthetic. Ignore the black hoodie I'm wearing. It's
I actually, like, dark and drab, I think, is my aesthetic, actually, like, on a deep level. Ignore the pink. Ignore the light up pink kitten ear headphones that I'm wearing.
Elaine and I just,
but
like...
Puffin, I think, is...
We're just the opposite side of the same coin as what's happening here.
This is why we get each other, yeah. I think Puffin, it looks really cool, looks really hot. I just, like, I like her vibe. She looks like she would be too cool to be my friend if I met her in person, and I'd be, like, intimidated by her. And I do think that makes her objectively really cool. I also hope that she goes fast. But Gravy Bones, like, I really like the vibes going on over there too. Yeah,
I love that his young hero is still alive.
Yeah.
I did make a joke, like, where I wanted a Gravy Bones that was between young hero and current hero, where he's like a ghost, where he's just a hero that starts on 0 life and the game immediately ends as soon as it starts because you have no life. Well,
that would be
kind
of funny.
That's it. That's all it is.
He just dies.
That'd be like a sick Marvel or like legendary hero that's not meant to be playable as a collection piece. It's just dead Gravy Bones. Not yet resurrected Gravy Bones.
It just could be like a collector's item.
Yeah. Surely that's more useful than like the random insert with like the set contents in it, right?
I think so. Yeah. I think so. Yeah. Okay. Second question from Morgan is: are the High Seas heroes Daddy, Babygirl, Bluesky, etc.? Now,
I think
Do you have thoughts?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Okay, let's hear it. Let's
So,
hear
like,
'em.
as, like, a base kind of level, Puffin is definitely baby girl vibes, I think. Like, she's bubbly, playful, not too serious, I reckon. In comparison to the pirate lady whose name I forget, who I think is more
Marilyn.
I think she's mother. Like, she gives strength, confidence, leadership. A word starting with C that I probably won't say on camera. You know, she's mother.
I think Marilyn is objectively like mothering. Marilyn is mother. Puffin, I don't know that I agree that Puffin's baby girl. I feel like Puffin just kind of seems like too strong. Like she's got too many moves to be baby girl. Like I don't know what that is because I don't want to call Puffin a Riz King.
No.
But I think Puffin's really got some moves. Like I think I don't know. I think Puffin like pulls, but like not in a way that a baby girl does, because I think Puffin makes the first move.
I mean, that kind of
just giving me like strong, confident, like
it almost feels like Manic Pixie-esque, I guess.
Yes. That's the kind of vibes.
Yeah.
Like I think Puffin is still girly pop in the way that like Chapel Roan and Sabrina Carpenter are girly pop, but like they're very different girly pops. I think Puffin is more like Chapel. Like
okay. So she's Chapel Roan girly pop, not Sabrina Carpenter girly pop. And Charlie XCX girly pop is just way out of the question here.
Maybe like a cross between Charlie XCX and Chapel. On the spectrum of girly pop, I place Puffin somewhere in the middle of this.
And the girly pop triangle, right? Like, because like, she's like, we obviously know very little about her, but she's kind of got like the hectic, chaotic vibes of like both. Like, they're very two distinct, very hectic, chaotic vibes, right? Like, Chapel Roan is like hectic in the emotional sense, and like Charlie is hectic in the physically what the fuck is going on kind of sense. But you know, I still think there's like a bit of playfulness. Like, she's maybe just like girly pop. Maybe that's just who she is. Not
she's just girly pop. The Manic Pixie Dream Girl is like, I think that she could be that too. I think she makes that vibe.
Yeah, how is she the hardest one to pen? I mean, I guess we haven't even touched on Gravy Bones.
We haven't even touched Gravy Bones.
Yeah. I'm glad Marilyn was easy. Just
Marilyn is like, that's just straight up mother.
Like I said about like the flesh and blood thing,
right?
Like, she's the easiest to like pin down, point out. We know who she is.
Yep.
Ranger.
We know
she's
she
solved
is.
in terms of like as a character. And yeah.
I feel like Puffin also just like has this. Not only does Puffin have an exotic pet, a parrot, or I don't know if that. I'm not gonna call the parrot the pet. It might be partner in crime. I don't know.
Associate.
But partner in crime, a parrot partner in crime is even more like Manic Pixie Dream Girl than if the partner, like the parrot, was just a pet. Because the parrot's got like this gold wing. It's got this like strap, which might be for the wing. A nice hat too. Like you can't. Like that's just a cool. That's just like a cool duo.
Yeah, I love.
And they are like up to trouble. They are strong, confident. They get what they want. Like, you know, it's just. I love what's going on there.
I'm trying to look it up at the moment, but searching Puffin Fab does not give you very many hits whatsoever. It's mostly just actual Puffins. Oh, here we go.
Puffin Hightail, flesh of.
Yeah, no, I just love the mechanical wing. Like, I love how the bird is even mechy. And, like, I know that's going to help the case when people are like, oh, yeah, the bird is Puffin. No. Victor's the horse. Puffin is not the bird.
What if I cosplayed as the bird for US Nats? I kind of want to wear that hat, make a little mechanical wing, make a cute little bird costume.
Yeah, if I can somehow get it.
I might.
Like her, and then we can go to Worlds together. Sure, let's do it.
We would be the cutest duo ever.
Me in very little clothing and a whole bunch of straps, and then you in this parrot ones with a golden wing.
It would be we would make it so cute. I have so much faith.
Wait, there's an airship in the back.
Melody would have to be Marilyn if Melody would come. Have to be Marilyn because this is just mother again. Mother.
She is mama.
Yeah. There is an airship in the background.
Like a blimp. And like there's also a floating pirate ship,
like
but, just the blimp is throwing me off.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Gravy bones. We have to classify gravy bones.
Is he daddy?
I think he might be.
Yeah. Oh. Like I think there's so much going on with this character that they had to make him a bit predictable in some sense, right? Like,
yeah.
And that sense is like he's like dead Bravo. Maybe a little bit less Riz than Bravo, but like
it is giving dead Bravo. I think he's got more Riz than Bravo, but less charisma.
Yeah. Which is funny because it's literally the same word. But like the emotion it evokes is different.
Is different, right? Yeah, you see the vision.
I mean, it's also not helped by like the fact that people are referring to the younger Gravy Bones as Young Gravy, which then makes you think of like Baby No Money, who is
young
very baby
Gravy,
girl. And Young Gravy is arguably daddy to Baby No Money's baby girl. And this is just going out of Fab now, but like
I'm getting lost.
Just don't even think about it. I think he's just very firmly daddy. I think
daddy. Okay.
He can't really be anything else. I don't think.
That was fun.
Did we ever do? Wait, did we just as an aside? Did we ever do that for the Hunted?
No, I don't think the Hunted was. Yeah, the Hunted wasn't out when we did our tier list, and I'm not sure that we ever sorted Fang, Syndra, and. Would we have to sort every single Arachne?
We can just say Black Widow's mother, and then like just leave it at that.
Black Widow is mother.
And like slip through the cracks is like Manic Pixie Dream them.
Very Manic Pixie Dream. Yeah, very. Marionette, I guess. Or like, well, Black Widow's mother, leave it at that, and then we're just going through each one.
Black Widow is the one that people want to know the most about, like, because Black Widow is the simp one.
Well, Black Widow is, I mean, that's just mother.
You simp for them, like.
Yeah.
You say, please, ma'am, and thank you, like, whenever you see them.
I kind of think that Marionette is like a Riz king.
I could see that.
I think Marionette's like Riz lord.
Marionette has like 6 people and like, you know, they've convinced 6 different people to pretend to be them or to be a part of them, like to be part of the circle. Like they've surely got Riz.
Right, like in the way that like a cult leader does when you put it that way.
Yeah, exactly. Like Marionette is Jared Leto.
Okay, and then we have Fang and Syndra.
See, like I think aesthetically Fang is daddy, but I feel like he's more baby girl, like emotionally.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Like, if you were just to look at him, you'd be like, yeah, daddy, right?
Daddy, but then you talk to him, you're like, oh, baby girl.
Well, this being one of the sets that like I've done more of a lore deep dive in terms of like actually consuming the content and knowing more about it. Like he feels more baby girl than daddy. Like I feel like Syndra's his daddy more than anything. Like they kind of eventually like end up working. Well, they always work together, but they end up being like she brings him up to her level in terms of like, no, we're partners, we're equals. It's kind of really wholesome. But I think prior to that, he's very much just like, I am going to serve you, which is not, it doesn't feel very daddy-ish to me.
Does that make Syndra mother?
Kinda? Yeah. Either mother or daddy. Like, she could be either, I reckon.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm kind of leaning more daddy if Black Widow's mother.
If Black Widow's mother is Syndra's daddy, Fang is baby girl. Marionette is Rizlord, and Slippy is Manic Pixie Dream them.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, that was so easy. Wow, we're so good at this.
Mailbag plus tier list part 2.
Tier list part 2. I love doing the tier list. So fun, even if other people didn't enjoy it. I don't know if they did or not, but I had a lot of fun doing it.
Look, these episodes were just us, are mainly for us to chat, catch up, hang out, and other people are more than welcome to come along the ride. All aboard the gravy boat.
It's just, yeah, us filming us hanging out. That's actually all that's going on. No one can say this is not organic because we just come in here and talk. No game
This is
plan.
the closest we've had to a script for an episode, and the script is people asking questions on Bluesky.
Is people asking questions. It's so true. Okay, I think that's all we had today.
Yeah, my Yu-Gi-Oh deck is Blue Eyes White Dragon. There's no spice in it.
Oh.
That's it. There's no other engines.
Okay.
There's nothing interesting. It's cheap. Yeah.
Right. That was a question, by the way, for...
Yeah, there's just not much to it. Like, I'm not really a Yu-Gi-Oh player. I just have it because I like Blue Eyes, and they're dragons and they're kind of pretty. But that's the end of that question, and we have no other questions.
No other questions. That's it. This was always so much fun. Yeah. I don't know. I think that's all.
Yeah. So. If you enjoyed that, if you want to see us do more tier lists, or you have other activities for us to potentially do, feel free to comment them down below or let us know on our socials. You can find me at kikibird.bsky.social. You can find Elaine at
ehamontree at .bsky.social. ehamontree, like bacon on bush or pork on shrubbery. Yeah. And you can find the pod wherever you're listening, and probably anywhere else that you ever could want to listen. Yeah.
If you want to see what we post about, updates about future guests, you can follow us at pitchperfectpod.bsky.social, and of course keep an eye out on at rainbowxpitch.bsky.social as we get closer towards probably announcing things for season 3 as we work on it.
Ooh. Yeah, and also like and subscribe. We never have said that before, but I'm saying it now. I feel.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe.
If you want, actually, I don't like pressuring people.
Yeah,
to
it's
do
so
things.
weird. I'm actually turned off when people do it, but then I do it anyway. But I'm like, how dare you tell me what to do? Click subscribe.
Ooh, we've never done it before. We are always like, oh, we should do that. And I'm like, no, I don't want to. I did it.
But
it felt strange.
It does feel so strange. But yeah, if you want to see our past content as well, they'll be at the end portion of this video, most likely. If not, then I'm gonna sound stupid. But until then, we will see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.